Okay. Just follow my lead.
Always did.
And go. 10,
9,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2.
1.
Welcome to the Rumble Royal Podcast. The Outlaws are here. We're back. We're ready to rumble things up, Tim.
Oh, we're ready. Oh, we're ready. We are ready, my friend. What's going on, Mike? How you been?
I'm good. I have a child. It's rough sometimes, but I love him.
And
I do this for our many adoring fans out there in the world.
The 4 or 5 that are still listening, thank you so much. But you know what? It's Rumble Sunday. We thought it would be appropriate to come back and, just do a little rehash, kind of give you guys a little bit of what's going on in our world and our heads. So here we are. We're ready to rock it out. We're doing a brief, what we always call a brief, because, we tend to go a little bit longer than anticipated. But, we're going to do a little short here. Just give you a little whet your appetite for the Rumble. And, Mike, what's on deck today?
So
what do you got going on?
Before we head into Rumble, a couple things we want to talk about. Obviously, a lot's happened since our last podcast. I was thinking the very first thing that would be appropriate is to get your thoughts specifically about the passing of Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah.
Obviously, a monumental character in the sport of pro wrestling. And just your thoughts, your personal love of him and what you think he meant to the sport.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just what he meant to the sport was basically everything. That all these guys and girls now are trying to emulate, in my opinion, and, will there ever be another Mean Gene? I don't know. Just the way that he carried himself and the way that, just one of the best stick handlers in the world type of thing, just the stuff he did with, with everybody, with Hogan and Flair, WrestleMania 4 with Vanna White, stuff like that. I knew more. I kind of, saw more of Mean Gene, I guess, in WCW, but, going back with the WWE Network and even before that, with the WWF, whatever you want to call it, and his stuff there, it's just, oh my God, just unbelievable the amount of, not even potential, but, that's not the right word, but the amount of just that he had, And
well, let me help you out here. I got a couple questions for you in regards to him. First, what do you think makes him stand out? Why was he so iconic? Not just because of the time and place, but what differentiates him from those that try to emulate him? What
I think it's his the personality and the way that he kind of just led. He was the general in all those interviews, promos, whatever you want to call them. As many times as some of those guys tried to get him to smirk or laugh, and if he didn't know what to do, he always was just so quick-witted and, rose to the occasion. When the SummerSlam, I forget the year off the top of my head, I want to say 89 maybe, when the SummerSlam logo came down during one of the interviews, it just stuff like that happens. And, you just kind of roll with it. Who will forget his time with the in WCW with the Hotline? I think that's what a lot of our fans and our listeners, crickets, are going to think about. But the 900 number with WCW, just stuff like that. And I think that whole aspect of him, he's going to be missed.
So speaking of moments like that, what was your favorite Mean Gene moment? Your personal favorite?
God. Ooh, I think, just some of the times when he was with Hogan and, one that comes to mind, which, may not have been his best moment, but, one that sticks out in my mind at least, is the 96 heel turn for Hogan when he joined the NWO. And, he's like, you want to associate yourself with this man and this man, You got to be kidding me. And he's just breaking down in the ring, No one told him that Hogan was the third man, according to the rumor and innuendo type of stuff. So, I think that, might be my biggest moment is him in the ring and almost getting hit in the face or getting hit in the face with a Coke or whatever hell, got thrown in the ring. I mean, just God, the stuff that he did with Bobby Heenan too, it's second to none. I don't think it'll ever be duplicated.
I agree. Well, last night there was an incredible show. I mean, I know we want to get into the Rumble. A couple more quick things though. NXT Takeover again just blew my mind with a couple of the matches specifically. The tag team title match and then Gargano versus Ricochet was just, they just. I don't even have words for the level of what I'm seeing. I follow X-Pac on Twitter, and he said he was thankful that he's not in this generation because he would, these guys are incredibly athletic. Yeah, which is funny because, you think 1, 2, 3 kid, he did some amazing stuff in the ring. And what these guys are doing, is not normal, but they're making it normal every one of these takeover shows.
Yeah. I unfortunately have not been able to see all of it yet, but the first hour or so that I've seen, it's like, God, man, the Rumble's got a lot to live up to. This is the next, no pun intended, but the next generation. This is what we're going to pay to see in April as opposed to WrestleMania. We'll get there, I'm sure, in a podcast or in a future podcast at another time, but just the what I can speak up so far, what I've seen, I said the tag match between the War Raiders and Undisputed Era was like, oh my God. Talking about like the Andersons and LOD or something like that, just like our Andersons and the Hearts, just stuff like that. It's unbelievable what's going on.
Well, it's funny, you talk about that match, everybody, always comments when Big Show does his drop kick, how it's incredible that man of his size can do that. What War Machine was doing, those guys, what they were doing in the ring, what luchadors do.
Yeah.
What I see luchadors do.
Yeah.
I just didn't, I blew my mind.
It blew you. Yeah. It just Rowan and, or I don't know if it's Rowan, I'm sorry. Rowan Hansen, Hansen's the bigger of the two. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. Wish I could move like that at my age and at my weight, But, it's not going to happen. But
well,
just,
even admittedly,
surreal.
When I saw them come down the ramp for the first time, I honestly hadn't seen them prior to NXT. And I was thinking, oh, man, these two bigger guys. I had a predetermined notion that, all right, this might be okay. And then they just made me look stupid. They did. Those guys were incredible.
Yeah.
And what an opening statement for them. And hopefully, improving the tag team division within the WWE.
Yeah, I've been a fan of pretty much 3/4 of the Undisputed Era. I'm still not sold on what's his name, Kyle O'Reilly. Mm-hmm. He's one of mine. I'm not really here or there with, but all three of those other guys, Adam Cole, excuse me, Bobby Fish, or I can't remember their names now, but and and Roderick Strong. Those guys are, to me, are lights out. They're some of the best in the business. The future, not just of NXT, but of wrestling, whether they stay with WWE or not. And I think it's just, it's just a kudos to those guys, to the caliber of matches they've been putting out, not just week after week, month after month, almost year after year.
Mm-hmm. So obviously we're excited. We have our tickets for Brooklyn.
Yeah, we are. We're takeover bound.
This is John, Matthew, and I, our second takeover experience. It's going to be crazy after we saw Andre Cien Almas defeat Gargano.
It's Andrade now. You can't say Cien Almas.
But you said Andre.
I said Andrade.
You said
Andrade.
Andrade.
No, it was just my
Andrade.
accent. I said
No, I'm
Andrade.
just saying
And
Andrade.
no, I will not call him by his one name. He has 3 names, and they're all awesome. That match was absolutely incredible, and I'm really looking forward to what happens in Brooklyn. And should be some good shenanigans there. AEW, Tim.
We're gonna jump into that route.
We
Okay,
have to
right.
real briefly.
Yeah.
We were, of course, at All In,
Yeah.
one of the biggest mega shows of
Sure.
all time. And now the wrestlers apparently have some Tony Khan money behind them. And this is Ted Turner again trying to, hey, I'm going to put some money behind us. We're going to come at you, boys.
Is it? I mean,
if they get a network deal, it'll be interesting. I don't know if you saw today Dolph Ziggler's comments.
No, I haven't. I have not seen.
So
that. No.
he will not be at the Rumble tonight.
Okay.
Apparently, his situation is in flux with WWE, and his contract might be running out. And he discussed the possibility of AEW.
Okay.
So another.
I mean, it's been what? Probably a good 7 years since there's been competition for WWE.
Serious competition.
Serious competition.
Yes.
Obviously, Impact, TNA, whatever you want to call it.
But it's been even longer since there was a threat.
Correct. So, and that's where I'm kind of leading. AEW. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Cody and the Young Bucks, Adam Page, Marty Scurll, all those guys. I mean, Jesus.
Will it include the cleaner?
It might.
Or will we be seeing him later?
I don't know.
Tonight?
I think he might be a part-time type of guy. I don't know if he'll be there as an everyday or every week type of person.
Or is he number 30?
Is he number 30 tonight? We'll find out. Highly doubt it. I'm not expecting much tonight. We'll get there in a few minutes, I'm sure. But props to these guys, the Bucks, Cody, whoever else might be involved in it that I'm not mentioning right now. Just going out there and doing what they want to do, doing what they feel is right. And I think, with the right manpower, with the right roster, which they're leaning towards a heavy artillery, with the right backing, the fan base is going to be there. They sold out Chicago in less than an hour, right?
I think it was half an hour.
Okay, yeah, half an hour. I mean, the hardcore wrestling fans like us who do this podcast or, who just watch week in, week out, they want something different. They want that competition. Wrestling is better when there's competition.
WWE is better when there's competition, as we've seen. They have to up their game. It's better for everybody.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. Yeah. Generally speaking, though, I would say wrestling is better.
Oh.
WWE brought out the best in WCW at the time, back in the Monday Night Wars. WCW obviously then brought out much better in the WWE. So, but wrestling in general is better when there's some type of competition, legit competition. So, whether, Jericho jumps aboard or has already jumped aboard, I mean, that right there is like, I'm sold. Mm-hmm. I'll pay money for Jericho any day.
That's when I took it seriously.
Yes,
is when he signed on, because Chris Jericho is very calculated in what moves he makes.
He won't do anything.
Join a venture that would blow up in his face. He knows there's serious money behind this, and I believe that he knows that they're going to get a serious TV deal with this.
Correct.
And of course, he's going to be paid handsomely.
So just like. I cannot wait. I hope they get a TV deal. I hope it goes well. I'm a big fan of all of those guys, even more so after seeing them in Chicago for All In. And, nothing but the best. And the wrestling world is going to change for the better once this actually gets underway. And, sky's the limit in 2019 for professional wrestling.
So I just want to know, are we going to Las Vegas or are we going to Jacksonville? I'm just saying.
Are we doing double or nothing, or are we Well, no, isn't double or nothing's the one in Vegas, right?
Yep.
So what's Jacksonville's the day before or day after? I don't know. We'll talk about this after the podcast. We'll see who wins the Rumble.
Now,
tonight.
if they were smart, Tim, especially for the English Premier League fan like you, they would combine this into an all-day affair. You'd have a Premier League game, and then you'd have a Jaguars game, and then maybe all in one day.
Yep.
He owns all three.
I probably would never come back to New Jersey, but I'd be there.
I'd take Blake Bortles. AEW ring.
Well, it could be Nick Foles, by the way, for Jacksonville.
It might be Nick.
Let's not go there. I don't want to talk about that. We're in wrestling mode and Rumble tonight. Let's keep it wrestling related. Where are we going next?
We're
Mike?
excited. We're excited about the possibility of this. Obviously, especially having been to the first major step in it. We're interested to see what happens. So, Tim, it's Royal Rumble Day. It's honestly one of the most anticipated days on the calendar. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I'm sitting here thinking we're talking about this podcast, having a good time, getting ready for the Rumble in the next 17 minutes or so.
Not to put a doom and gloom on our show, and we'll obviously talk about tonight's card. But this morning, I decided to boot up my WWE network, and I was motivated to go back and watch some of our Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble we attended, which might be the worst Royal Rumble of all time.
Save for one good match.
But the actual paper. So, Tim.
Yeah,
I can't believe. I think it's vital, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, because you know that Royal Rumble's better than me in history. But isn't it vital to have, within your first two combatants, somebody sort of interesting in one instance?
Mike, I'm gonna offer something, or not offer, but I'm gonna. I think I remember who were the first two. But honestly, I don't remember who the first two were.
So you had the Miz.
I think it was the Miz and R-Truth.
It was the Miz and R-Truth.
It was, okay.
And we should have known when that happened.
When that happened, it was over.
That it was going downhill, despite Bubba Ray Dudley coming out at number 3.
Correct.
You could almost tell from the very beginning of that match that they did not care about that match.
No, they cared the fact that Roman Reigns is going over, so nothing else matters.
By the way, Roman Reigns.
Absolutely. I mean,
very
good
good luck in your battle with cancer.
Absolutely. We're all
awesome
here for
dude.
you.
I can't wait to see you.
We might rib you a lot, or give you some flack here on this podcast previously.
But that's just character.
But that's character formation. But the human element comes into this, and nothing but the best to Joe, aka Roman Reigns. So there you go. The thing that I was gonna talk about hopefully quick. Was 1 year ago today.
Oh, shit.
Something magical happened in my life. And a lot of people would say, oh, you got married, you had a kid. No, none of that happened. I ended up meeting arguably one of the greatest wrestlers, the biggest icons. As a child, my favorite wrestler.
A 5-time WCW champion.
A 5-time. I'm not talking about Booker T here. Even though we did meet him. But the guy we're talking about is Steve Borden, Sting. And Steve, Sting, if you're listening, thank you first and foremost. I know you're not, but, we do whatever we want here on the podcast. But, just the anniversary here of meeting some of the legends of professional wrestling, our childhood, and we're capping it all off tonight, not only with a podcast episode here of the PWO, but with watching the Rumble. I think it just couldn't mean anymore. Mike, you remember that day, and
I remember
meeting
Sting. I remember telling Booker T that he should have went over Triple H.
But you should have. WrestleMania 19,
Jake the Snake.
Safeco Field.
Having trouble finding Jake the Snake because he took a smoke break every 3 minutes. I remember the Iceman, Dean Malenko, and being too scared to approach him. There was Sandman just walking around with a kendo stick randomly
choking people.
I thought he was going to hurt somebody.
He was going to kill us.
Bubba Ray and Velvet Sky were there. God, who else did we meet? We met somebody else.
And the Booker, no, we saw a lot of people. Wouldn't
Booker, Jake.
There were
Sting. We met one more person I could have sworn. Who else did we meet, Tim? We met more than 3.
Oh, we met 3.
No.
Yeah.
No, really? We saw Scott Steiner.
We saw Scott Hall.
Rad. Scott Hall was there. All right.
Anyway, so moving on. The anniversary of meetings thing, greatest moment of my life to date. Now we're here at Royal Rumble 2019.
Anniversary of Skip Sheffield.
Is it the anniversary of Skip
Sheffield today?
Yeah, the anniversary of the Skip Sheffield rant.
Holy shit!
3 or 4 years ago today. Yeah, 5 years ago, I guess.
It's 5 years old, that chant.
Yeah, it's been a while. Go ahead,
anyway,
Mike. What do we got now?
Royal Rumble. We're limited on time here. So, Tim, I'll just go through this card real quick. We got Banks versus Rousey. Lynch versus Asuka.
Oh.
Barr versus Shane and Miz. Balor versus Lesnar. Bryan versus Styles. Rusev versus Shinsuke. The fatal 4-way for the Cruiserweight. And then 2 Royal Rumbles. It's a loaded card.
Yeah.
Let's not include Rumbles. What are you looking forward to match-wise?
Honestly, the first one that strikes or, that goes to me, there's probably 2 of them. But the first one would be Bryan and Styles. You guys have listened to the podcast before, and you know how much I am a big fan of both of those guys. So looking forward to another, hopefully, tremendous showing from these guys. Hopefully it's not necessarily a blow-off, but, just a sign of things to come maybe down the road. The second one, not Rumble, obviously, would be, I think it's, probably clear-cut Becky Lynch and Asuka. I think those 2 are going to possibly tear the, I don't know if there's a roof, but, the partial roof or whatever you want to call it in the Phoenix Stadium there. So
what main event is this show?
Huh?
What's the main event of this show, then?
What's the main event?
Women's Royal Rumble?
Who?
Is it the Women's Royal Rumble?
No. I think the men's goes on last.
You think so?
Yeah.
I was thinking they might do the women's.
No,
I guess they'll do Mania.
They did that last year.
Yeah.
I think that was the big year, so I think that goes on as your 3rd match of the night.
Okay.
And I think the men's Rumble is your finish tonight. Could be wrong.
All right.
It's either that or possible. I'm expecting the men's Rumble to go on last.
Rumble, either one. Predictions or, who you think might be some surprises?
I've been going back and forth with this women's one for the better part of a week to 10 days now. And, honestly, to this very second, I don't have it. I have it narrowed down to 2 people. I have it narrowed down to Charlotte, but I also have it narrowed down to Becky. I think Becky could possibly walk out as champion, but also enter the Rumble and win it. And I think that would be friggin' amazing. I could see her losing the women's the title match, but then coming in the Rumble and winning. That would set up her and possibly her and Ronda for Mania. Yeah,
you can do a champion versus champion.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Which would be badass.
Yeah, that would be legit. For the men's, I've been going back and forth with this one as well. Again, so I'm gonna make up my mind as it happens here. But right now, I'm going Seth Rollins. The dirt sheets, if you will, the Dave Meltzers of the world. I'm sure Dave's been reporting on this. And guys like those. The idea right now, the way that they're going, is Seth and Brock for Mania. So. We'll see. Those are my two picks right there. Not necessarily locks, but my 2 picks.
I think I don't know. For some reason, I see Becky winning it.
Winning both, or
no? I think she loses the title match.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling she loses the title match and then wins the Rumble. The men, I seriously have no clue on the men's end. Oh boy, does Shawn Michaels, come back and just say, hey, I pretended I wasn't coming back and hey, I'll just win the Rumble. Maybe that would be awesome.
I'll mark out if he's an entrant.
I don't know. Val Venus, maybe. Raven has a wrestling school. He can still go. I would take him as a surprise entrant because I'm a huge Raven mark. Kenny Omega, even though I don't want him at WWE.
Here's
See, that's the funny thing about real quick.
Yeah.
Before you go.
No.
The funny thing about Kenny Omega, I wanted to be in AEW, but I would still mark out if he was in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yes. Here's a guy who, is probably under a lot of people's radar. You may not even know who I'm going to talk about or who I'm speaking of, but a guy from Impact TNA, the Monster Abyss. The contract is up with him, so I think we could see him tonight. Not saying he's going to win.
Yeah.
But I think, him jumping ship
I read something about him being a producer, like, behind the scenes. But I could see a one-off,
him and
put him in a Rumble, something like that. Sure,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Just give him a little exposure there and just, you made it. Now you're in the backseat type thing.
Gangrel.
Him and Sanjay Dutt.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever seen him before? There you go. So you know what I'm talking about. We about ready to wrap this shiznit up.
Yeah, so let's finish this off with a trivia question, Tim. I feel like
you got some trivia.
We haven't beat the Yanksman in a while, and I need to test your knowledge.
Guys, hashtag beat the Yanksman, BWO Twitter account. We'll take those questions into consideration.
All right, Tim. So Hulk Hogan took his Rumble bow in 1989. Aside from getting an earful from the Mega Powers friend Randy Savage, the Hulkster managed to have 10 eliminations that match. Who was the first to be eliminated?
What? Oh boy.
The X-Men camp.
Oh, here we go.
On the first
you just went right out on the first question. Coco Beware.
Nope.
It
looks like it was Mr. Perfect.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Tim. 1990 show marked Dusty Rhodes' only Rumble outing. Which star was he not responsible for exiting that match? Was it Bret Hart, Randy Savage, or the Big Boss Man?
Bret Hart.
Incorrect. That would be the Big Boss Man.
You gotta be. I was gonna say the Boss Man. Great trailer.
The Russian is cut.
This. Yeah. We're editing all this stuff out later.
It's
right?
the last show.
Shaka-ka.
This is the benefits of being live.
We are live.
All right, Tim, last question. Two participants
I'm over 2, folks.
Have gone and won the whole damn thing after entering at number 29. Brock Lesnar was one in 2003. Who was the other? I actually know this one. I bet you John does too.
Do I have a year?
I'm not revealing.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, sure. So 2 participants have entered in at 29 and 1. Brock Lesnar won in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the other participant to win at number 29? If John thinks of it first, he can guess and get the win, and he beats the X-Men temporarily. Matthew can also make a guess.
Did Ray ever do it?
No, it was not Rey Mysterio.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
John, not even a guess.
29.
Big John Studd.
Incorrect.
Crap. So it's somebody who knows all that.
I don't know it. I keep thinking.
Well, no, I'm saying
30s.
modern era. I was going way back.
Was it R-Truth?
Matthew.
What year? What year was it?
2010.
They're legitimate.
Randy Orton.
No.
Oh, he wasn't it.
His wife was in it.
Thought he was 20. Okay, Edge.
Entrant number 29.
I thought he was 28. Okay.
Well, folks, it was an entertaining time. We're glad to be back. Apparently, this is going to be on some new thing.
We are now doing YouTube Live. We're going to make these live shows. It seems like it's a bit more easy to access than our other ventures being SoundCloud, the knockoff SoundCloud.
Yeah, so Matthew is going to illustrate us. We're going to be in cartoon version, like that WWE, what's that show called?
Camp something?
Camp. It's going to be like that WWE camp show.
Is that what's happening?
Illustrated versions of ourselves.
We are working on getting audio-only versions as well. We're trying to figure out a platform.
What's our social media, John?
At the, I can figure out on Twitter, but please email us at the Pro Wrestling Outlaws at gmail.com.
First person who emails us, legitimately, I will send you a $5 Amazon.
We will
gift
call
card.
you and thank you personally.
We have the Pro Wrestling Outlaws Facebook, which is where this link is. Hopefully people clicked on it. Hopefully everybody, some shares will be there.
And by the way, we can log into the email now.
Enjoy the Royal Rumble. Tim, sign us off here.
Let's get ready to rumble, guys. 2019 PWO back better than ever. Boom shakalaka laka laka. That's gotta be the ending. Boom shakalaka laka laka.